Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry. Today we've got a commercial job to do, and you can probably hear the vacuum running in the background. My helper is just around the corner over there. He's actually done a loop right around here, and we're just doing the open areas. These little dark spots here are actually pre-treated spots. And then we got this area back here where they got all these little cubicles, and then he's actually just around the corner. And then we have upstairs to do. It's going to go pretty quick. This is actually, I believe, about the third time or so that I've cleaned this carpet. And we cleaned it for the building owner just before these guys moved in. And interestingly enough, this company, I just actually talked to the guy that let us in the door here. And we have cleaned for this company in every place they've been in the last 5 years. This is the third place that they've moved into. They've just kept growing and growing, and he was just saying we're looking even more expansion going on. So he says we may have to move again before long because they keep growing. They are an engineering company. They do I think they do power lines is mostly what they do. So that's great that they're doing so well, and it's nice to see young guys because they're young engineer. I've never met the owner. I think his name was Jeremy a few years ago, and it's just great to see these guys doing so well. They're doing a great job and growing. Anyway, so the carpet cleans up really well. The first time I saw it, actually had really bad stains all over the place, and it was actually a little bit scary in how bad they looked, but cleaned up really well. The building owner is actually a regular customer of ours, and she's a very particular type of person, and I really appreciate that kind of customer because although they can be a little challenging to address initially, once they realize what we do and how well we do it, they become our best cheerleaders and very loyal. So she's got us to do her home a few times, the building where she lives a few times, do very regular, and it's a building in our town where they actually have a doorman. It's no, his name's not Carlton, but anyway, so we been cleaning her place for a few years, and the building she's in, and then she owns this property, and this is quite a big building actually, so she owns the building, and I think they actually own another building or other properties because we've done some work for them in another area town here. So anyway, this is a spot that we pre-treated, and it will just come out just like that. Just go back and forth just a smidge, and that'll be gone. And as I say, this is at least the third time cleaning this carpet. And over to my right, which I'll show you in just one sec, there's a whole series of spots that were pre-treated, and that was where the worst of the staining was in this carpet the first time that I saw it. And they were very black. They have reappeared just a little bit in the last year or so, because I guess we cleaned it about a year ago. You could just faintly see them. So we pre-treated them, and that's just a series, about 4 or 5 stains over in that direction. But as I say, they were just very obvious the first time I saw the carpet. So they did reappear slightly over the last year, but when I go over them now, that will be the last of them for sure. I mean, they were really very vague. They look obvious now because Steve sprayed our spot remover on there. We're not doing any of the offices today, just the main area, and the I think they call it the bullpen in the back. Which is just around the corner up here. And then up above, in the room above, there is also another series of office cubicles up there, which we will do. It's about the same size, I think, as that room in the back too. So let's see how we do here. Light spot right there. Go over with the machine. I'm using Iron Man cotton, and I find they work really well. And I'm cleaning with my product. It's called Just Gone from Pro Cleaners Network, and it has a little bit of a faint delimonene smell, sort of a very faint, just nice smelling, and seems to work very well. Stains coming out. This will go quite quickly, this job, and I'm going to have to move my cord in a minute, I can see. Not doing the stairs today. You can just barely see, if you can see that, but the tube, the camera picking that up, you can just see the air bubbles go by every once in a while. I'm actually not feeding constantly. In fact, what I'm going to do in a sec is I'm going to, after I move my plug, I'm going to give an indication as to exactly how much I'm actually feeding. Okay, so I'm going to move the plug, and then we'll see that spot's a bit damper because we pre-treated it. That'll even out as it dries, of course. Bring my slack so it's all behind me, and here we go. Outlet right over here. Oh, stiff one, there we go. So I'm gonna turn on the machine. Okay, I'm not going to turn on the machine. It's not working. What's going on here? Okay, hang on a sec. We'll just stick that in there for a sec. Is that going to work? Yeah, I think so. Get creative, right? So I'm going to give an indication as to, so here's my finger right here. I'm going to just turn it on right there, just a little shot of solution on. So I'm going to go across this area, and I'll just let you know when I'm applying. It's just on and off usually. So on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. Now, of course, on, off. If I want more, I'll just put it on longer. On, off. On, off. On, off. On, off. Now you can see a slight whiteness going on the carpet. That's what you're really looking for. Depending on the carpet, it'll be more obvious or not. And depending on the cleaning product you're using. And I'll move that back a bit. There we go. Get in there. Okay. on, off, 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 on and off, on, off, on, off. So now we get into the bullpen. On, off, on, off, on, off. Okay, that's getting boring, isn't it? On, off. But you get the idea, right? So I'm not always on, and if I need to, obviously I'll just hold it on longer. Then I see a spot, a little dark something around there. Actually, I'm going to probably have to put something else on there and see what happens. That looks like a spot for my yeah, it looks like actually it might be gum or something, maybe. Oh. I see. And what do you get behind this? And behind the door over here. And this is where, this is a good, where'd it go, the spot? Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm going to hit it again. And let's have a look. Yeah, that looks like gum. I can tell it is. Now this is Argo sheen. And we'll just see if we can. Oh, yeah, that's dissolving. Look at that. Pulled it right out of there. Nice. I'll throw that in the garbage can. I'll put it on my lid for now. Throw it in the first garbage can I come across. So that was Argo sheen, which is I found over the last little while has been working really well as a spotter. Available anywhere, pretty much. Yep. Just go over that area and I'm healing it slightly, but keep it moving. Oh, there, gone. Okay, here we go. Into the bullpen. So this is a good place to show just why this system works well, very well, because of the maneuverability in crampy quarters. And this is, although it's not bad, the upstairs is actually even more crampy than this. But you'll see that I can easily maneuver the machine, and it's easy to raise and lower. Now this machine is even more maneuverable than some are, because I can literally raise and lower it as I'm running it. Isn't that cool? There's a, see that handle? Watch this again. Up, down. Nice, eh? And it is a, put that chair back. It is it's not, doesn't have detents or what's the right word? It's not a preset click, 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 click. It's infinite. So I can stop it, in other words, anywhere where I need it. So, and that's one of the reasons I did choose this machine years ago. Oh, there's a garbage can. Put that little chunk of gum right there. Done. And maneuverability is really important in these crampy situations. And I do have my orbital machine, which I just used the other day, and I did a video of that. but I would not use it in here, although I certainly like using it on this type of carpet. It's the maneuverability when you get into dealing with under desks and things like that. That becomes a problem for that machine particularly, although other ones are better. I used to have the Orbot, and it was better for that, but still I had to... What's that? I still had to... the release on the Orbot isn't as... for raising and lowering isn't as easy or quick as this is. So, but I did use it quite a few times for doing this sort of job and weighed the benefits, the pros and cons, and in the end the Rotary was the better choice. So whenever I run into a job where I've got office cubicles, it's a no-brainer. It just works better. Okay, so we're gonna head on across here. As you can see, the carpet is cleaning up very well, and it will dry within an hour. See, here we are. We're going to go under this desk, and we're just really supposed to be doing the open areas, so they were supposed to have moved everything they wanted moved, although I did move some other things like garbage cans, etc. Actually, I'm going to move my cord. I'm almost at the end. Because I just saw a real convenient place over to my right up here. Ah, see? Bring the wire. And there we go. Right there. And look, this is a lit plug, so when I have power, it lights up. That's handy. I actually, oh, look at this. Oh yes, I remember now. I got this thing to deal with. This is the worst spot in the whole place. So this ought to be interesting. Just gonna move those over a bit. There's a box under there. Okay, I'm gonna pull that out of there. There's nothing in it. They were supposed to pick up everything, but anyway. I'm gonna hit it again. I know Steve hit it already because I can see he did, but I'm gonna put a bit more on there. That's our machine. Let's see what happens. Okay. Pardon me, sorry. And away we go. This job will probably take us between the downstairs and the upstairs about maybe a little more than an hour. I can't remember how much I'm charging for it. I think at least $500. Don't remember exactly. But the thing about when we clean with this, our customers realize pretty quick is it stays clean. And that's one of the biggest advantages of using this system. People are getting tired of having the carpet clean and then a few weeks later it just resoils so rapidly. And this, it just doesn't happen with this process. So, you know, why do people keep using the inferior HWE? Well, anyway, it doesn't really matter. We're so busy we don't care. And most of our customers are previous steam cleaning customers, and once they realize what the difference is, they don't go back. It's just what happens. Anyway, so let's see how this stain does. Are you ready? Here we go. Okay, going 50% already. See, I slowed right down. I'm not holding it in place. That's not a good idea. Always move it. It's mostly gone already. I can still see it a little bit. And I'm going to actually switch to my other bottle I got in my waistband, which actually has my it's my pre-spray. So that means it has more surfactant in it, which lowers surface tension. And look at that. And I find the art machine works really well because it works well on oily stains. Works well on everything, but oily stains is where it really shows its stuff, as it were. So I'm just going to go over this a little bit extra. I can't see it now, but no, that looks pretty good. Okay. Looked like a spill of some kind of a drink or something. Alright, I'm going to move this little coat rack. It would have fell apart on me, it's real flimsy. So, we will continue on here. We're getting near the end of the bolt, this room. Bullpen, that's what I was trying to think of. And around the corner. See how nice it maneuvers? And the other thing is that to move it forward, to move the machine forward, all I do is I actually got the machine actually right up against my, see that? Can't move my camera down that far. I've got it just actually resting against my belt line here. And so to move it forward, all I do is walk. I walk forward, stepping forward. There's no effort on my arms at all. My arms aren't, I'm not, like right now, I'm going to push up the arms. See? I'm going to push up the arms, I'm standing still. And of course you can do that if you want. But for the most part, I just have the machine tucked right up against my body, and I just walk forward. Walk forward, step back. If I want to go to the right, I lift the handle slightly, and the machine just goes to the right. Just slight lift. Push down, go left. Lift up, go right. Push down, go left. Up is right. Down is left. And forward and back is just a step. No effort on the arms. Oh, pardon me. Okay. I just tucked it up against the wall. I'm just stepping forward. No effort at all. For this, I'm just actually hanging my arm out to just turn it there. And that's one of the reasons that I prefer this machine over, say, my Wheels Up Orbitec. which is a great machine, but it'd be a lot more effort required to maneuver it and to move it on the carpet. I'm not saying it's hard, I'm just saying it's a little more effort. And on certain carpets, the orbital machines will fight you. They just don't want to move, or they want to move in one direction, not the direction you necessarily want to go in. That's just a characteristic of the orbital machines. And the wheels down orbital machines pretty much solved that issue because of the stability of sitting on the wheels. Solved that. But then you have the problem, or it's not really a problem, it just adds to the weight, and it makes it it's just harder to make it move left and right. You have to actually kind of maneuver the machine a little more. So the rotary just moves easier. See, I'm going to step forward and then lower the handle, goes left, raise the handle, goes right. Step forward, left and right. Step forward. And notice I'm overlapping. And let's address the common misconception and the myth that the rotary only cleans one side of the carpet fiber. Only on the edges is that true, when that's obviously irrelevant in almost every case, actually. Whereas in the area where you can maneuver the machine, easily you're going over the carpet fiber 360 degrees. So stop saying that, who's ever saying that. Just being silly. Just revealing your lack of knowledge and understanding about what's really happening here. This is a planetary disc. A planetary disc spinning on a flat surface. Moving over the surface will clean any area where you move it correctly 360 degrees. It's simple physics, guys. So stop saying that we are only cleaning one side of the fiber because the machine is only spinning one direction. The pad is spinning one direction, but you're moving the machine in every direction. You're cleaning 360 degrees. And this machine is actually at 180 RPM, which is a little bit unusual. And that works out to 360 degree passes per second on the carpet. Think about it. That's an awful lot of movement in 1 second. And in almost every case, the cleaning effect will occur literally in a split second. I mean, seriously, I go over a spot or whatever, and in almost every case, I can't even count to 2 before the spot's gone as I move the machine. I mean, if I'm not, I'm going to have to move. If I'm not trying to go fast, and I rarely are, as I go over the carpet, the spinning motion of the pad